Good morning and welcome to another special edition of Outnumbered. Today is Friday, and I want to say thank God it is Friday. You can see everyone looking Friday. Good morning, Antonia.
Good morning, Ramsey.
Good morning, Boma.
Good morning.
It's good to have all of you right here.
Thank God it is Friday. Today.
I'm being outnumbered. Well, I didn't know Mr. Christopher had a plan when he said, okay, Ramsey, don't worry, you'll soon be outnumbered. Today it is happening live. All right, we are here to take you through the headlines for the day. And I want to start with the Punch newspaper. From the Punch newspaper this morning, I have this first headline on page 36, which says, Senate reviews 30 trillion naira loan documents, summons CBN officials. Okay. Another one here said, well, these are not a promise. Just listen. PH refinery gets 450,000 barrels crude, resumes operations April. You remember a lot have been said about the refinery. One of the things they brought to us on assuming office was about the operations of the refineries, that the refineries will soon start working. We never saw it coming. But then, we have it here today, April. Remember, the last promise was supposed to be December. It didn't happen. Now they've given us April. And we're yet to hear from Dangote refineries. Our fingers are crossed. We are waiting to hear what will happen next. The big story from the Punch newspaper this morning, school attacks. Bandits demand 1 billion naira for 287 pupils. Issue March 27 deadline. Two riders to that story, it's a pathetic story. So sometimes if I'm taking it, there is a way I feel. Then two riders to that story. The first rider says, kidnappers called on Tuesday gave us 20 days to raise ransom, says community leader. Then the second rider says a hostage is held in difficult location, used as human shield to prevent bombardment. This is coming from defense headquarters. I take that again. Hostages held in difficult location, used as human shield to prevent bombardment. Well, I think all we are saying is that they be released. And finally, from here, politics over. It's time for governance. Tinubu tells governors at IFTA. All right. The details of that you can get on page 22 of the Punch newspaper. And that's going to be the size of the headlines from the Punch newspaper this morning as Antonia brings us to speed with the next paper.
On the Guardian newspaper, the first headline here is actually the big story. It says, Japa or modern slavery. How UK visa system, deportation, risks silence exploited care workers. I'll take that headline again. How UK visa system, deportation risks silence exploited care workers. And is on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper. The next headline, federal government seeks new student loan act, jail term for offenders. That story is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper, and this is coming after the student loan, the start of the student loan as act was postponed indefinitely. Retired officers to sue Inspector General of Police, scribe over contempt of court order. The details of that is on Metro page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. And then the final headline from the Guardian, Akpabio threatened over Ningi's suspension as federal government dismisses budget padding claims. And the details of that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And that will be all from here.
On Daily Trust this morning, we have this story, how man allegedly killed sister's husband over 20 naira salt. That shows that poverty is looming in the nation. And then Tinubu writes National Assembly demands reenactment of Students' Loan Act. Of course, this is coming after the Loan Act was paused indefinitely. And the big story here on Daily Trust is on budget padding. Insertions by National Assembly legal, says Bagudu. And the writers to the story are Akpabio won't resign, Senate spokesman replies PDP. Principal officers received over 200 million. This is coming from Ndume. and Atiku demands probe. Okay. Another story we have here is on Kanu POS operator returns 9.9 million naira mistakenly transferred to his account. Oh, means there are still honest people in this nation, even at this time.
Yes.
And you can get a story on page 18. I think this is all I have for you this morning on Daily Trust.
All right, thank you very much, Buma, for that headline. Let's move to the next headline, which is going to be from the Vanguard newspaper this beautiful Friday morning. Above the header, I have this one which says, Tinubu to governors. It is time for governance. Let's set aside political differences. And the details of that you can get on page 2 of the Vanguard. It means there have been some kind of unseriousness, if you ask me, meaning the governors have not been serious all this while. It's not been governance, it's been politics already. Okay, this coming from the president, so you should know what that means. Then another rider, again, okay, not a rider, a headline from still page 2 on the Vanguard newspaper. It says a Port Harcourt refinery will deliver petrol in 2 weeks. This is a good news after waiting for a very long time. Well, it shouldn't be like the promise we heard in December. You said, we were told the refineries were going to get working December last year. We didn't see it. But now they are saying in 2 weeks. That's April, somewhere around the corner. Well, let's see how that is going to go. Then the big story from the Vanguard newspaper this morning, 287 Kaduna students. Abductors demand 1 billion naira, vow to kill victims in 20 days. Well, yesterday the president said no penny should be paid to kidnappers. Today we are hearing that the kidnappers, the abductors are demanding 1 billion naira and they've given 20 days. I don't know. Let something just be done before these 20 days. Just one rider. There are a lot of riders to that story, but I'm just going to take the first one because of what I just said. The military have vowed to rescue school children. I pray that it's been done without any hitch, without any life being lost. Benue, armed herdsmen killed 147 in 2 months. That's in Benue State. One of the states that is suffering from so many things. The governor and the past governor having issues, Alia and Autumn. Then finally from here, from the Vanguard newspaper this morning, teachers welfare package. Government requires 245 billion naira to pay monthly salaries. All right, that is it from the Vanguard newspaper this morning, and that's going to be the size of the newspaper review. We are bringing you a big story, and you know when we say it's a big story, it's actually big. Don't go nowhere. After this break, we'll return, and it's going to be time for the big story.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleke.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back from that breakout number still on your screen, and we are back with the big story. When I say it's a big story on outnumber, you know what I'm talking about. It's really big. Let's talk about the student loan. I saw Buma's reaction when Tonia was actually taking this headline. Federal government seeks new student loan act, jail term for offenders. You know your country, I know my country. We're in the same country, as a matter of fact. Remember what happened? You actually took one headline that has to do with a student loan too, and you said, well, the first time it was an indefinite suspension of the student loan.
It was just this week.
Yes. Then not up to a week, they are coming up again to
like
say
2 days after.
2 days after, they are seeking new student loan acts,
yeah.
a reenactment. Then a clause is coming with it this time. That is the jail term for offenders. And you know, in this part of the world, people wouldn't want to offend some persons, but then circumstances and the economy. So let's talk about this. What do you think about this jail term and the federal government seeking new student loan act. Remember the first one, you need to come with a guarantor, somebody at a higher cadre, this and all of that. As if that is not enough. Now a jail term is attached to it. What do you think about this?
Okay. With this jail term of a thing, I think most people would not want to go for the loan. Who wants to go to jail? We already know that paying back a loan is something that is difficult for Nigerians. Exactly. Is something that is difficult for Nigerians. Has anyone ever collected money from you? Have you ever loaned someone money?
Yes, I have.
How was it like getting back your money?
Well, if they want to get money from you, they come with a juicy story.
Sugar-coated tone.
As my salary is dropping, as my auntie is sending that money, my auntie have already said she's going to send the money, but then the money has not come, and I need to do this thing. As soon as the money drop, bagam. In fact, I'm
stories.
But when it comes to payments,
collecting the money,
but when it comes to paying back, hey. Please, what happened? I didn't hear from you again. I'm coming.
It will look like you are their enemy.
No, in fact, they form this enmity. You become a gossip too.
And you're not. Then you become a wicked person.
You become a
and
topic.
You're not understanding.
And a devil. And someone that has no empathy. So this is what the federal government of Nigeria is trying to avoid. They know that when they put strict laws concerning the loans, it will make people go for it or not go for it. You know Nigeria, they don't want to lose their money.
But so in other words, are they trying to push people away from taking this?
No, there are a lot of intricacies to this. Because first of all, this act was supposed to have been enacted since October last year. And then they shifted to January. And then in January, just this week, they announced that it was postponed indefinitely. So now, before now, they said one of the requirements is that a combined family, that is the father and mother, must be earning up to 500,000 naira yearly for you to qualify.
That's for the family.
Yes. Now in this new enactment, the new act, they are saying if any of your parents is not earning 45,000 naira monthly, you are not qualified to apply. Now, who do we tell? The people that they are targeting, they are the poorest of the poor, people that cannot afford the money to go to school. And now you're putting the 45,000 naira, if you can't get up to 45,000 naira, and then the jail time. A lot of Nigerians, they are skeptical. And sometimes they are also trying to, because they know Nigerians are smart people. Some persons might want to put false details. Do you understand? They might want to put false details in applying for this loan. So I feel this jail term is just like a risk prevention, like a preventive measure, so to say. What will make...
Okay, are you trying to say if anyone defaults, the person wouldn't go to jail? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. What I'm
because you talked about maybe giving a false information. There is something in banking. There is something we call KYC.
Know your customer. Yeah.
So before you give out a loan, the first thing you should do is your KYC.
To do their background check. The Nigerian government to do their background check once the details are provided.
And if that is known, then there is no need to be scared anymore.
Information now with the NIN and BVN. I don't think
everything links together.
Yes, it's all linked up. So it will be difficult to give a false information now.
But then it now poses, they need to adjust this loan so that it suits the economy of Nigeria. Because if you don't take into consideration, if you are putting certain standards, you should also consider the country we are living in. If the economy is stable, definitely people
will even go for loan.
And another thing I want to also mention,
have actually put us where we are.
Another thing I also want to mention is that you are giving the minimum amount or wage that the whoever wants to apply for this loan, the parent of whoever wants to apply, should have. But then the minimum wage of civil servants has not been increased. So how do you expect? How do you expect that? How do you expect that to meet up? How do you expect? So there are a lot of things. They need to stabilize the economy first. Once that is stable, then people who want to actually apply will be able to meet up.
Sonia and Boma, how many politicians have gone to jail for defaulting in different areas? They've been taking money. I don't know. Most of these laws are being made for the common people, the poor people.
Yes.
The law, the constitution can only have its course on the poor people. If you say you want to give this to the poorest of the poor in Nigeria, then you shouldn't be making this thing so difficult. A lot of money have come from Swiss, Abacha loot, this and that. Where is this money going to? Let's help Nigerians. Well, I think this is going to be the size of today's review. As a matter of fact, thank you very much, Antonia, for adding your voice to the conversation. Okay. Thank you very much, Boma. Well, Boma said something. I'll remind you after the show. That's why I told you when it comes to things like this, there's a way women feel. So we should do everything possible, federal government now, so that this loan will be affordable and the right people should get it. What happened during the palliative shouldn't repeat itself this time. Have a beautiful day. Have a good weekend ahead of you. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Bye-bye for now.